Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Prepper Dad, and I'm a little congested. I haven't been feeling well lately, but we're gonna get through it because I got some news that I want to share to you. And then I also want to kind of remind you on a few things. So This is hot off the presses, guys. Says the businesses should prepare for risk of civil unrest from food scarcity. Been talking about this on previous videos on how later on we could be facing a food crisis that we've not seen before based on gas prices, lack of fertilizer, just all of the things that are happening and how that affects different parts in the world and how it's going to affect all of us here, not only in America, but at different places around the globe differently. Again, if you hear me sniffle, whatever, you're just gonna have to deal with it. We're in this together, right? I'm not feeling very well. I don't know what it is. Don't need a test to tell me that I'm sick. Okay, so food and fertilizer shortages, which are still stinging nearly 6 months after Russia invaded Ukraine, could drive countries that are already facing economic trouble into civil unrest. So they are saying what has been happening in the Russia-Ukraine situation is that it could provide the means for civil unrest. Now, we've already talked about, we've already heard, we've already seen how this could affect wheat. This is combined with with gas prices, on how those things can elevate and escalate. And this is saying that economic trouble into civil unrest. Now, I want you to think about this as we continue looking at this story, is that we're talking about civil unrest and what it, in your minds, when you hear the words of civil unrest, what comes to your mind? What comes to memory? I don't know. I have my own personal memories, personal pictures, but when you guys hear civil unrest, what do you guys think of? And think about those things. And are they things that are being taken or being looted or being broken? Are those things of value? Now, again, as we continue, think of surviving. Think of being able to feed not only yourself, but your family. What would you do? They're talking about civil unrest. Food insecurity is one of our main topics and one thing that you really have to look out for. There's no getting away from it, okay? There's no getting away from this. It's going to happen on some level, they're saying, okay? This is absolutely a global problem. It continues to go on. So it's not just a Western thing. It's not just an American problem. It's a global issue. It's not Ukraine. It's not Russia problem. It's not China. It's not Spain. It's not America. It's global, guys. So we have to think collectively on what do you need to do to prepare. Now, let me just say this, is that we have a lot of political issues going on right now. We have one party in control right now, but let's just say that was flipped, okay? I don't see them being the answer to this problem either. I don't think any government entity is the answer to all of this problem. The answer to this situation that we're in is us. Collectively, we have got to do this. We have got to see the change. We have to be the change. We have to make the change that we want to see. It continues on though food prices have dipped slightly from the high reached prices in the immediate aftermath of not feeling good. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, prices were still about 44% higher in July than in 2020. Now, remember, the number just came out. 0 inflation in July. But what it's saying here is that the immediate aftermath of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, we saw those price hikes. whether it be in food, whether it be in gas, and they're saying it's still about 44% higher than in now than it was in 2020. But here's what this all could mean. You know, you kind of have to lay the groundwork. You kind of have to see where we're at. Um, you know, we're seeing across the world a much higher potential exposure to civil unrest as people see their purchasing power falling quickly. Gas prices, food prices, commodity prices, just wages. The head of America's research team for risk intelligence company, Ferris Maplecroft, that's who said this, is that their purchasing power is falling quickly. And we know that. We absolutely know that. And it's only going to be a matter of time if these prices do not come down, which I don't think they will, is that people are going to be, getting into that potential civil unrest. What does that mean? I don't think we've seen it, the worst yet. In fact, farmers have already told us when to expect things to start going downhill, is because harvest time, the stuff that you see in the stores now, that was already budgeted, that was already harvested in a particular time, in a particular path that it has to go through everything. But think about the gardens. Your harvest time isn't necessarily until fall, and so to pull that, to get that into production, to get that into tankers, as far as to transport it, we're not even there yet. Many other countries could find themselves facing social unrest. At least 50 countries depend on Russia and Ukraine for 30% or more of their grain supplies, including many developing countries in North Africa and Asia, according to a report from Marsh, an insurance broker. So I hope you guys are putting together pieces, how we're all intertwined together. I don't want you to fall into the trap of, well, I'm an American, I live in America, nothing can happen to us. Bullshit. Yes, it can. Okay? Just because we live in America, which is touted as the freest country, the most powerful country on the planet, doesn't mean that we're going to face hardships. Okay? As well as I do, you can walk into certain stores and certain aisles and see that we're already seeing a hit. It's going to continue. All right? So pull your head out of the sand. If that's you, I know it's not, because you're into this video, close to 8 minutes or 8 minutes, and you haven't left yet. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you're still here, hit subscribe so we can continue on this dialogue and this journey together. All right? So Turkey, for example, imported 78% of its wheat from Russia and Ukraine in 2020, while Brazil is the main market for Russian fertilizer, Marsh said. So again, just a little bit more information on why and how we're all intertwined and why we're all connected. Not all countries face the same risk from rising prices. Let me say that again. Not all countries face the same risk from rising prices. Okay, and now why is that? You can read, I'm going to put the link down below in the comment section. I want you guys to look at this, because some of it is just common sense. Why aren't all countries facing the same? Well, because you look at other countries who don't have enough money as, let's say, the United States, or America, who's in a particular unique spot with the world reserve currency and how the dollar is currently king. For how long? I don't know. But just so you know, we have good old Nancy Pelosi praising China and saying how much of a secure and free civilization, and how free their people are, which is whatever. So is that a little hint on what's to come? I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me though. Wouldn't surprise me. And if it doesn't, sick. Okay, you will just say Matt was on medication. All right. So companies also can take steps. Companies also could take steps to understand whether their brand is a lightning rod for political anger by conducting a brand analysis. So at the start of this video, I said businesses should prepare for social unrest. Now, what this says is companies also can take steps to understand whether their brand is a lightning rod for political anger. All right, so what does that mean? If there is a shortage on Q-tips, okay, are people going to go berserk? Are they going to start burning down cities, crashing in windows, going in and smashing jewelry, jewelry cabinets and cases because they can't clean out their ears or whatever with Q-tips? Probably not. I doubt it, okay? However, Tyson Chicken, if they have a huge shortage and they're going to go public to say, hey, we don't have any chickens, or if some other company who's heavy into the food industry say something, that's the businesses that they're referring to. Is I can't eat a Q-tip. I mean, I can, but that would be stupid, and that'd be dumb, and it's not going to provide any nutritional value ever. Okay, but a Tyson chicken nugget, look, I had those for lunch today, and it was good, and I feel good about it. It's good, but if that goes sideways, if that goes downhill, that is a potential business that they're talking about. Now, this is all stuff that is potential, and perhaps coming in the future. And that is why I'm telling you this. That is why I'm making this video, because as preppers, as some people who prepare, it does not help us to say, you know what? Well, the world flooded a few thousand years ago because, things were pretty bad. They put all of these animals into an ark, and Noah said, okay, we're not prepping because of that. We're not prepping because of that, because it doesn't really matter to look back that far and say, this is what happened then, we should do this in case it happens again. No, we're looking at news stories that could potentially, I don't know what the word is, what the string of words that I want to use, but it's in the future, and it could affect what's going on. And you add those on top of the stuff that's already happening, and you can see this potentially being a reality in the next few months or in the next year. And that's why we prepare. Okay, so I'm gonna provide the link below, and I highly encourage you not only to click on that, but to do your own research on what's happening and how you can better prepare for tomorrow. Again, hopefully I'm feeling a little bit better, feeling a little bit under the weather at the moment, but it's important to me to share with you information that will better you and to better your position with your preparedness. All right, so we'll see you next time if I'm able to come back, if YouTube allows me. Be sure to hit that like button, because the algorithms are just so stupid nowadays. But with that, be blessed.